In this video, I'm going to show you how to enable sorting in the jQuery client-side grid by Inflogistics. We're going to start off with some grid already set up attached to data, and then we're going to add sorting on top of it. So just kind of quickly see what we have set up here in our HTM page is that we are pulling in some JavaScript files, our resources for the core, the jQuery UI, the templating plugin, and the Inflogistics JavaScript library. And then we're also putting in a couple of CSS so that our styles are applied to the grid control. Next, in our script block, you have a local data source, which is basically a JSON array of 20 records and contains product definition. So you have the product ID, a product description, a number, and a price of the product. Next, in our jQuery load event, we are grabbing the table element at the bottom right here in the body section, and we converting that into an Inflogistics client-side grid control. Next, we are setting up some options to the grid. So we're setting up auto-generate to false and specifying the columns by hand right next to it. So we have header text being defined, a key and a width for all the different columns that we have in our data source. And then finally, we're just setting up the data source option and let the grid know that this is the data source that it needs to ping so that it can bind to it and show the data accordingly. So when you right click and view this in the browser, we have the local JSON array being set as a data source, and we are getting our style being pulled in completely on the client side. So now what we want to do here is that when you click on a header, we want the grid to sort according to its data. We're going to close this, come back here in our HTM page, and just like the columns collection, there's another collection called features, and this contains all the definition of features that are enabled in the grid. So what we're going to do here, we're going to add a feature. So we're going to do open square bracket, close square bracket so that we don't forget. And then here's where we're going to define our feature parameters. So we'll say name to be sorting. Next thing we want to set is the type to be local. In this case, the reason why we are using local is because we have the entire data source of JSON defined in our code here. But if you were to use remote sorting, you can use remote here, so it's going to make remote calls to your data source, and the sorting happens on the server and brings back the data accordingly. But since we are using everything local, so we're going to set the type to be local here. Next, we're going to set the mode. We have both support for single and multi-column. We're going to set up mode to be multi, which means multi-column sorting will be enabled. And last part we're going to set is the first sort direction. Now you can set this up by default, it's ascending, but you can set it to be descending. So we'll set that up to be descending for our sample here. And those are the only four options I'm going to set. And what's going to happen is it's going to enable sorting with the type of local. So it's going to happen on the JSON array here on the client side. It's going to be multi-column sort, and the first sort direction is going to be descending on the data. So right click and view this in browser. Okay, we have the same data. Let's click on the product price column, and you can see here that it's descending ordered, and it's sorted. You have the highest price being displayed at the top, all the way down to the lowest price product. And if I were to come down here in product number and do a sort on that, it would do a secondary sort because we have multi-column enabled. And if I keep on clicking on the header, it's going to do ascending and descending alternative. Okay, do a refresh and do a sort on the product ID. We'll see again, it will do a descending sort first. If I click on the ID again, I'll get an ascending sort. Okay, so in this video, you saw how easy it is to just set up a feature of sorting, enabling properties, all in JavaScript by using the features collection in the jQuery plugin of Inflogistics Client Grid Control. Thanks for watching.
Inflogistics. On the web at inflogistics.com.